Hey, welcome to Nom Talk Network. I'm Jen, and today on Geek Juice, I'm going to be taking you through one of my favorite Halloween-inspired cocktails. In honor of Hocus Pocus, we're going to be whipping up the Sanderson Sipster. We're going to have an alcoholic version as well as a mocktail equivalent. So let's start off by sacrificing some virgins. Grab some black handles if you got them. I got 2 red, so we're going to see how that works out. We all have shakers, right? Do we? We don't always. But most of us have mason jars or old spaghetti jars. So put them to good use, fill them with ice, ready to go shaker. For your mocktail, I really advise not to shake it. So for the Sacrifice the Virgin mocktail, one of my favorite things about Hocus Pocus are the beautiful colors and all the fall leaves that you're seeing around the city. So I really tried to mimic those colors in this cocktail. Instead of doing our Aperol or our aperitif, I'm gonna switch in a grenadine and I'm gonna do equal parts my cider and my ginger beer. You might be able to get away with a normal apple cider that also isn't carbonated if you don't want all the bubbles. And remember, when you're shaking, be very careful. After getting equal parts apple cider and ginger beer into our mason jar full of ice, I'm gonna just take some of my orange peel and I'm just gonna get some drippage in there. Once you've got the amount of orange juice that you like for your specific palate, I'm gonna take my strainer, I'm gonna get a really good seal on top of there and make sure I've got a good grip to it, and then I'm just gonna strain straight into my ice-filled glass. And from there, I'm going to take a tablespoon of grenadine and layer the top with it and just kind of dribble that around and let it sink down. And there you have it, the Sacrifice the Virgin mocktail. It's delightful. It's refreshing, it's effervescent. All right, but who's ready for some booze? If you wanted to jazz this up any further, you absolutely could. My personal preference would be to throw just a straight shot of bourbon in here, but I know that floral gins as well as just a clean, crisp vodka would just do this up. But let's make one that's a little more hocus pocus, yeah? So something that is one of my absolute favorite flavors during this season is an aperitif. So Aperol is probably one that you've heard of more often. It's a little bit sweeter. So for our true blue cocktail this evening, I am gonna go straight up in Bette Midler and we are gonna make some deliciousness. Anybody who has not had Aperol or Campari before, it's what's referred to as an aperitif, which is really just a fancy way to say before you eat something, which is, I mean, if you're a snacker, is it not always? So what I'm gonna do for this actual beverage is gonna be a little bit different. You'll have seen a lot of your Aperols or your Camparis used in things that are spritz related, but a little bit more in theme with this season, I'm gonna swing in some apple cider and see where we get. I'm doing Campari as a personal choice. I am not a huge sweets person, especially during the fall. I love the tart and I love the more right before sour flavors. Bourbon's my boo. I'm gonna take my fill and chill and I'm going to get the small half, which is 3/4 of an ounce, poured over ice into my shaker or my cheapest mason jar. I'm then gonna take bourbon. I'm using Bulleit today, but any bourbon will do. I've even seen some people swing in some pumpkin infused stuff, which is just, oh, yes please. I'm gonna do 1.5 ounces of a bourbon, and then I'm gonna take my mason jar, and then I'm gonna take my fancy dancy strainer majig. Remember that grippy trick? And you're just gonna put, oh, yes, that's the perfect blood color we wanted. And then we're gonna take this beautiful concoction that should be good enough on its own, and we're gonna top it with some apple cider. Yes. Now one of my favorite ways to personalize a drink is to add a stir stick. And what better stir stick than an actual stick? This one happens to be of cinnamon. So I'm just gonna old school and just burn it. Now you guys can use lighters to do this, but I really don't like the gas when I'm putting it into my booze. Oh, there it goes. Yes. And then we're gonna put that puppy in there. Ain't she a beaut? And this is our Sanderson Sipster. Oh, so fun, so unique. Thanks so much for mixing things up with me. And in case you were looking for a little bit more of an adventure on your cocktail experience, I recommend you take drink 1 and drink 2. Make drink you. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. I'm about to go run amok all on my own. I'm Jen and this has been Geek Juice. Thanks so much for coming to hang out with us on Nom Talk Network, and like and subscribe below. Are you still here? Are you at least gonna like or subscribe before you go? I think it's like here-ish. Okay, bye.